Back at you with another video. Today we're gonna be reacting to 10 reasons why fans stop watching WWE. This is a very interesting take. This is a very interesting video because I know a lot over the years, the wrestling community has gotten smaller and smaller. A lot of people have grown out of love with the product of WWE. So he's gonna give us 10 reasons why. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Share the video with your friends. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. Let's go.
Each year, more and more people stop watching WWE. It's no secret. The ratings have been dropping for the last 2 decades. 2 decades ago, WWE was getting nearly 10 million views a week for Monday Night Raw during the Attitude Era. And then a decade ago, in 2010, the company dropped to 4 million views on a weekly basis.
10 million to 4 million. 4 million is, I believe, it's still solid, but compared to that 10 million that they used to pull, that's tough.
But looking back, 4 million is not that bad compared to now, which Raw averages 1.7 million views a week. SmackDown is seen as a success by reaching only 2 million viewers. In today's video, I will be naming 10 reasons why. SmackDown used to be the second base show, so how much views SmackDown used to pull? I believe Raw's still 3 hours, right? And SmackDown's only 2. So maybe the attention span plays a big role in that. Fans stopped watching WWE, and it starts with number 10, WWF
I hear a lot
buys
of old heads say
WCW.
that.
When Vince McMahon bought WCW, everything changed. The Monday Night War was over, and many fans stopped watching as a result of it. A good chunk of people felt like wrestling died during that acquisition. The real feud during that time period was WWF versus WCW, and once that ended, people didn't have a reason to watch anymore. WWE tried their hardest to keep viewers hooked with the Invasion storyline, but that was clearly a big failure and it was a flop. This makes a lot of sense because when Vince McMahon bought WCW, his product took a hit. The lack of competition led to a decrease in the quality of the content. Vince McMahon didn't need to try his hardest, and as a result of that, he was the only company in the game, and that led to a big drop in ratings. WWE even willingly say that it got so bad during that time period that they had to create the brand split in order to introduce something new before they lost all their viewers.
I didn't know that's why they came up with the brand split. I thought the brand split was more like for more TV time, like, you know, we want to push and go in a direction for more TV time. That's what I thought the whole brand split was all about. But I didn't know a loss of views is what caused the brand split. But yeah, like I said, I hear a lot of old heads speak on the Attitude Era ending is why they stopped watching. The Attitude Era gave them something to look forward to. So I guess that's why for a lot of them. But like I say, I wasn't born during this time. I wasn't born until 2000. Started watching wrestling maybe around 06, 07, somewhere around there. So yeah.
Number 9, turning
PG. See, this one to me kind of go hand in hand with the Attitude Era because I hear a lot of people say the PG era killed wrestling because how can you turn a show that's supposed to be about fighting, wanting to almost kill each other, PG? But yeah, let's see how he explains.
In 2008, WWE turned PG because of Linda McMahon's campaign to run for Senate. This turned away a lot of viewers. People enjoyed watching WWE because it included violence, blood, and suggestive language. When this all went away, a lot of people didn't have a reason to stay anymore. I personally know a lot of people who stopped watching because they say it got too childish during the early 2010s, and I agree. The company was appealing to kids.
I came around towards the end of the Ruthless Aggression era, right before the like maybe 2 years, 2008, so maybe 2007 actually, I believe. So it was basically before the PG era, but a lot of people complain about the PG era, which, looking like, as someone that actually went back and studied old wrestling, I understand why they went PG, but I mean, looking back at the old stuff, in my opinion, is better.
Makes a lot of sense.
But I wasn't there to live
AEW even used their TV14 rating as a main reason to attract the audience that stopped watching WWE because it turned PG. So many people even nowadays always ask for WWE to become TV14 again,
Not gonna
but
happen.
I don't think that is ever going to happen. Number 8, Legends retired.
Back to the before we get into that one, I feel like it's not gonna happen, and my JBL does look like a real judge. But the reason I say it's not gonna happen, he might say the same reasoning, but it's been PG for so long. I doubt they would go back. And then the thing with AEW, I hope when AEW gets super mainstream, they don't try to go in the WWE direction. I feel like that's what killed TNA. I'd be interested in seeing somebody make one of these, but for TNA.
But I don't think that is ever going to happen. Number 8, Legends retired. After the death of the Attitude Era, fans continue watching WWE for the wrestlers that they connected with. However, more and more legends are retiring every year. The Rock and Stone Cold retired in 2003. Ric Flair hung up the boots in 2008. Shawn Michaels stopped wrestling in 2010. Batista officially retired in 2019. Triple H and John Cena have been secretly retired for quite some time. I know John Cena is technically a part-timer and had his match with The Fiend just last year, but it isn't the same. One match a year isn't really a wrestler to me. Kane makes some appearances here and there, but he's pretty much done with wrestling and he was focusing with being a mayor. And then The Undertaker had his final farewell in 2020.
But he's been a part-timer.
That was truly the end of an era. With that era coming to an end, some people don't have a reason to keep watching anymore because some of their favorites are no longer in the WWE. Number 7, MMA and UFC. The UFC opened their company in 1993. It took the business a good amount of years, but they finally became mainstream with people all around pop culture. MMA's popularity has grown tremendously. The rise of the UFC has had an indirect effect on WWE. Fans who are sick of WWE and their incredibly fake wrestling have decided to move on to legit mixed martial arts. Those former wrestling fans needed something new, and the UFC provided that for them. You can't deny the fact that the UFC took some of the WWE viewers. I have a friend who is a long-time WWE fan.
I got some more UFC reactions on the way, y'all, too, but it's the same thing with these WWE reactions. They do get claimed a lot, so they get copyright claimed. So it's like, it's kind of hard. It kind of demotivates you sometimes to keep pushing them out, but y'all know I got y'all. We're gonna push.
And since 2003, but he stopped watching and now loves watching UFC and every pay-per-view they have. I guess breaking kayfabe every 2 seconds and doing a gymnastics performance instead of actual wrestling isn't good for WWE. Number 6, cable and social media. WWE isn't the only company that's been experiencing a decline in ratings and viewers. All of cable has been on the downward trend. But when you add in the fact that there's social media, you realize that there is literally no reason to watch Raw or SmackDown. WWE TV never focused on matches. They always saved that for pay-per-views. That's where you had those good matches.
I feel like that's a reason.
The entire point of watching wrestling on national television was for the promos, segments, and things that would actually build a story or a wrestler. Social media is able to provide you that within a few minutes instead of a few hours. So I understand why people would rather watch YouTube.
Raw is definitely too long. And I want to see if there's, since he's saying this, I want to see if there's a study that shows the YouTube views and the WWE Network views, if those have gone up. Because I don't see people on social media talk about, hey, y'all should have seen Raw last night. But I used to, but not really that much now. Like, so, well, let's see, actually.
Videos or
I feel like
tweets
WWE
instead of 2 hours of SmackDown. It is just so much more easy to
manage.
manage.
I feel like WWE kind of have to go along with the times and focus more on getting bigger in that social media presence. It's like they try to shun that side of the world, but NBA, NFL, like all these different sports are accepting it. If y'all, the reason I'm comparing a fake sport to a real sport is because WWE tried to see themselves in the same light. Monday Night Football and Monday Night Raw goes on same time. So y'all competing for who's gonna watch what. Then when the NFL season's over, you throw the NBA season in the mix. Might have a national televised NBA game on a Monday night. You definitely not pulling the views then. People only got one set of eyes. But the reason I point all this out is because WWE has to compete for that spot. And with Raw just being segments based, it's not gonna happen.
That's why there is a spike in the YouTube views and
a
decrease in the TV ratings. That is a correlation as a result of social media, and that makes me think that WWE might not even work in 2021. Number 5, too much content.
Oh, you spelled content.
And for the fans
I was like, connect. What is that? But too much content. Yes, it's too much. That too is too much to try to consume and keep up with on a weekly basis. People got lives. So it's like, y'all got to kind of understand.
Do try to watch live WWE TV. All I have to say is good luck. WWE produces way too much content that it's actually led to people not wanting to watch anymore.
Live,
the more you shove something in someone's face, the less they want it. Hence why less is more was created, that concept of that quotes. People cannot watch 7 hours of content on a weekly basis, excluding pay-per-view weekends. Look at WrestleMania weekend, for example. There is literally going to be 2 to 3 hours of wrestling every single day for almost 2 weeks. That is just nonsense. What's even worse
then you can't forget the live events before the pandemic. You can't forget the live events that they used to throw in there too, because that was a little excessive too. Those live events, yeah.
WWE to produce crap content instead of focusing on the quality of their shows. When you produce a large amount of garbage, people will instinctively just stop watching. Number 4, poor writing. That brings me to my next point. Poor writing is affecting the WWE in the worst way possible. Like I said, WWE needs to focus on quality content, especially if they're giving us so much of it. But that doesn't happen. I would honestly say that about 15% of WWE shows, whether that's Raw or SmackDown, are good, and the rest of it is just bad. The characters aren't written well, the matches are decent at best, the promos are way too scripted, the feuds are made up within the very last minute for pay-per-views, and I think that this is the reason why a lot of people don't want to watch WWE anymore. And the reason why this is all happening, why they have poor writing, is probably because they try to appeal to so many people that it doesn't work. Number 3, a lack of stars.
This is a good one too.
It's possible to get away with bad.
I feel like a lot of people talk about this one too. Like when I hear people talk about it, it's like a lot of the wrestlers that they do push, they can't really relate to. And the people that they can relate to, like Daniel Bryan, didn't get pushed. CM Punk didn't get pushed. Kofi didn't get pushed enough. Dolph Ziggler. Like, the people that everyone likes don't get pushed. And the people that do get pushed are the people that's unrelatable.
Writing, it really is. You could see so many Hollywood movies that aren't that great, but they got that big A-list actor that carries them and gets that box office money. The substitute is having stars on their show that make people want to tune in, and the same thing applies to the WWE. John Cena never had the best material. We can all agree and say that. But I watched because he was a star. He was the star that I wanted to see. WWE used to have so many stars that could draw millions of people to watch the show. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and John Cena are some of the biggest names in professional wrestling. And right now, that is not the case. WWE only really has Roman Reigns as their main star. He is the main reason why I watch SmackDown and why I think SmackDown has more viewers than Raw. The lack of stars have led to people not really wanting to watch. You got poor writing and now you don't even have stars. That is a problem, and that's why Raw's ratings keep going down. They don't have any star power.
Be the one to have
Number 2, it is too corporate. People love to blame Vince McMahon, calling him a terrible owner who's out of touch with his audience. But I don't think that's a problem. WWE has become way too corporate, and that is actually killing the company. WWE has a board of directors that want to see a certain criteria. The company needs to hit these numbers. They need to reach these profits. They need to go to Saudi Arabia to make that money. They need to be PG for their brand deals. They need to produce millions of hours a week.
And this is why WWE will never go back TV 13. TV 14. Because the brand deals. Once you start getting brand deals in the mix, you'd be crazy to go back. Like, it's like a lot of your favorite YouTubers when the content started switching up, when it was time for pranks and all of that stuff to go out of style, and they changed up their content, they'd be crazy to go back, turn down the brand deals to go back to what they've been doing.
week in order to make these people happy. They have poor writing because there are so many different divisions of writers that don't align with each other. They don't have a clear audience because they want to be like Disney and appeal to everyone. WWE has become so corporate that it's led to so many issues that get thrown onto Vince McMahon, and that isn't fair. The bigger problem is money, and I don't even blame WWE for wanting money, because at the end of the day, that is what WWE, it is a business, and that's all they want. And it sucks for us fans, but it's good for Vince McMahon's pockets. And number 1, growing up.
This one I disagree with, because I can still go watch the old stuff and it give me goosebumps to this day. So I don't feel like this one, I can see the no stars, too much content. No stars, too much content. Attitude era for the people that grew up during that period of time. But yeah, too much content, no stars, and I can see PG but this one I disagree with. Me personally.
Number 1 reason why people stop watching WWE is because they grow up. Watching WWE as a kid hits
some
different.
People, yeah.
Everyone grows out of things, and WWE might be one of those things that a lot of people grow out of. It makes even more sense when you see that WWE is appealing to children instead of adults, and that's why these older people stop watching. That is just the sad reality. Let me know if you guys agree.
Stuff still relate to this day. But anyway, that's the end of the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it. We on the road to 100 subscribers. Comment down below the reason you stopped watching wrestling. And I'm out. Peace.